we've got to accept the fact that we have been overachieving this season. We're not in a position to be able to definitively say we're going to win the league. I would love that to be the case. I'd love us to be able to say, look, we're going to go out, we're going to win number 20. We're really going to do it now. But we might be punching above our weight at the moment. So I'm just going to break down a few bits following the draw, which felt like a loss against Manchester United, and just give my thoughts on where I think we're up to, some of the post-match reactions, and just the general sort of feel around the club at the moment. And if you're new around here, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It's a bit of a simpler video today. I just want to go over a few things that have been on my mind since the draw on Sunday night. So we need to start by talking about the actual game. It was boring. It was a drab result. It was a result which just epitomised where both teams are at the moment. Liverpool, plenty of attack, plenty of possession, no firepower. In our last 5 games, we've only had 1 goal come from a member of the attacking 3. And that was Salah against Palace, which was a penalty. Every other game, we've been bailed out by midfielders and defenders. Trent stepped up. Szoboszlai has got goals. Gravenberch has got goals. Endo has got goals. Nunez hasn't, Diaz hasn't, Gakpo hasn't. So there's been a problem there. United's game was summed up by the fact that they were sitting back defensively, just trying to be resilient, trying to break us down. And it worked. We can sit here and say that Liverpool were poor, which we were. But we need to also go through this and say, look, Manchester United, they went there with a game plan. They went there to quieten down the crowd. They went there to quieten down the play. They went there to limit the amount of chances that we had, which they did. And it worked. They came away with a point, a clean sheet at Anfield, arguably the toughest game of the season, next to the Etihad, and they got what they wanted. And you've seen the fan channel's reactions to it. They went there with the mindset of, regardless of what happens, we're just not going to lose this game. And I think there might have been fear from last season that sort of spilled over into this. But credit to them, it worked. They got what they wanted. Fair play to Manchester United. What it means for Liverpool, though. So we've been in this sort of strange situation where we lost so many key players over the summer. Henderson left, Milner, Fabinho, Oxlade, Keita, Firmino. Big players left us, and we had gaps to fill. We've had players who have had to step up, like Kwanzaa and Elliott. We've had signings come in, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, Endo. And we've been overachieving because we're 1 point behind first. We were first going into this weekend. But we're overachieving in spite of the results, not because of the results. We've been poor now for a good number of weeks. And you could arguably say it's before City. I think City might have been the sort of tipping point, really, for when we started to dip. Fulham, we showed good character, in the words of Brendan Rodgers, and we got the result. We came back, got the win when it just didn't look possible, but we should have lost that game at points. We then play Sheffield United. We were poor against Sheffield United. We didn't look great in that match. It took till the 90th minute for us to get the second goal, and the first goal was from a corner from Van Dijk. We go from the Sheffield United game, and every match that we play, Palace, we were dreadful. Union SG, we lost, yes, because of rotation, but there were still big players in there. And then we go into this United match where everyone's built the anticipation that we're going to destroy United. No, that was never going to be the case. And I said this from day dot. We went into that match just expecting a sweep, another 7-0, an 8-0. People were saying 9-0, probably as a joke, but it was a genuine sort of idea that we were going to blow United away. And maybe we would have. If we'd have got the first goal and we'd have just took the advantage when we had it, maybe then the floodgates would have opened, because United's head would have dropped. They would have had to have come out from their box and maybe play a bit higher up the pitch. Didn't happen. And the expectation that we were going to absolutely dominate them, I think, affected the crowd. We're going to go to that in a moment, because Roy Keane and Van Dijk were going at it after the match. Now, I agree with both sides in this instance. I'm not one of those fans who's going to sit here and say, look, we have won. We're going to win the league 100% with this. I believe in being positive for the team, but I'm also a realist. The Van Dijk, Roy Keane comments. Now, Van Dijk to come out and say that only one team wanted to win. maybe it's true. United didn't really look like they wanted to win. When they went forward, they had a few good moments. Højlund had a good opportunity. Antony looked a bit imposing at times on the right. When Rashford came on, there was a bit of fear in me that he was going to do something, especially up against Joe Gomez. Didn't happen ultimately, but they still had moments where they went for it. So this whole only one team wanted to win, I don't completely agree, but I can see where he's coming from. Roy Keane to then come out and say, he's arrogant. How dare he criticise Manchester United when he's only won one Premier League trophy in like 30 years? That's fine, but you criticise Liverpool. Why can Van Dijk not criticise United? Why does it only go the one way? It doesn't make sense. For him to sit there and say, how dare he criticise this institution, this fantastic club that's won such and such and done such and such? You criticise them week in, week out. So why is it different that when a player who's actually playing against them now in the modern game says they didn't want to go out and win, they didn't want to go out and actually win the match? Why is it that when he says something, when he's in that environment, is it wrong? It doesn't make sense. He's allowed to be verbal in his opinion. He gave a reason why Liverpool couldn't win, because United wanted to sit back and defend. It's a valid tactic at Anfield. It quietened down the crowd. So Van Dijk, what he's saying, it's a tactic which worked against him, and that's why he's annoyed. Roy Keane's wrong in the sense that Van Dijk should be able to express himself, give his opinion on criticism. That's fine. The Dalot red card was awful. Shouldn't have been a red card in any situation. He's got a yellow card for starting his sentence and finishing his sentence. Ridiculous. Erling Haaland, after that Tottenham game, flipped everything. He went nuts. He swore at the ref, he swore at the managers, he swore at Pep, he swore at the officials. Nothing. The City got a fine for it because everyone jumped in. Is Haaland going to get a ban? Don't think so. Dalot got a red card, which should be overturned because before he'd even had the chance to take back what he'd said or stop what he was saying, he was given a second yellow. So there's no reason why Dalot should have been sent off. And had Liverpool won that match, the focus would have been on Dalot getting that red card, and that would have overshadowed it. So it shouldn't have happened. It's a shame that something like that can escalate so quickly. Not saying I sympathise for Manchester United, but I do for Dalot. I think it's harsh that he was sent off. So there's my 2 pence on that. Now, what do I think it means going forward? We are 1 point behind Arsenal. We play next in the league. At Anfield, we have a chance because Arsenal aren't going to sit back like United did. They aren't going to try and soak up pressure. They're going to go for it. They're going to try and dominate possession, and they're going to leave space in behind. I'm not confident. I'm really not confident going into this match. Arsenal have been playing fantastic football at points. It's not as flashy as it was last season, but it was never going to be. The Brighton and Southampton results really sort of changed Arteta's mindset, I think. And this season, they're just going for 1-0, 2-0, shut up shop. No one scores against us. We're going to win games, regardless of how flashy it looks, regardless of how good it looks. We're winning matches. It's very Jose Mourinho in that sense. And Arsenal have done this summer what Liverpool should have done. They found the key areas that needed identifying. They needed a CDM. They got Declan Rice. They needed a bit more depth in that sort of striker / attacking midfield role. Kai Havertz has come in, and yes, he was poor. Now he's looking really good. They needed more depth on the fullbacks. Timber comes in. They've bought where they needed to. The Raya Ramsdale situation's up in the air, but hey ho, it is what it is. Arsenal have a complete team which can really damage anyone. And coming to Anfield, everyone's saying the atmosphere will get them 12 man, yada, yada, yada. Yes, I agree with that. But Arsenal at the moment are playing better football than us. They're in better form than us. They've got a sort of the same sort of mindset we do in that it doesn't matter if we're 3-0 down in the 90th minute, we can still get 3 goals and equalise. And that's all well and good. But going into this match, Arsenal have the better team at the moment. We've still not got Jota. He might be back for Arsenal. We don't know. McAllister's injured. Gravenberch is injured. Endo is having to play as the number 6, and he isn't quite up to scratch yet. There's a lot of things that are rotating around this match that are just making me more and more nervous. And I believe this season, to be in the position we are is fantastic, but I still think we're overachieving. I know it's a very pessimistic mindset, but it is what it is. We should not be in this position. We're still rebuilding. We're still changing. We've got players in this squad who shouldn't be in this squad. We've got players who we still need for this squad. We still need that out-and-out number 6. We're going to need another centre-back now that Joel Matip's injured. And we are punching above our weight at times. We've been getting results in spite of the performances. which is brilliant, but it can only carry you so far. And United was the show in that, we were poor. They sat back and defended, and we didn't get the result. So it can happen at points, and Arsenal will take confidence from that in knowing that there's a way to prevent us from scoring. And until our attackers actually find a way to get goals and actually find a cohesive system that allows them to flow freely as it has in the past, we're not going to score many goals. You take Salah out that game, like United did. You also take Nunez out the game because Nunez relies so heavily on Mo Salah. When he's got no one to provide for him, he looks lost. He looks like he doesn't know what to do. And yes, there's the Newcastle result, but since the Bournemouth game where he scored that incredible goal, there's been nothing from him, and it's concerning because he's our focal point at the minute up front, and it's not working. Arsenal will be able to find flaws in the system, and we need to figure out a way ASAP of being able to change it, or we are going to drop further down the league. Villa are playing fantastic. City is City, and they can go on a 15-game winning streak whenever they want. They're not the same team, but they still can do it. They've got Pep Guardiola. This match coming up, we just need to be confident and just try and go in there and just give it hell. We can beat Arsenal. We know we can. We're one of the best teams in Europe. We can beat them. We've done it numerous times in recent years. We just need to keep that mindset because Arsenal are going to go for it because they know if they beat us, as that's the acid test. That's the one. They've beat second place. They'll be 4 points clear. They've only got to play City and us one more time after that. They've got a chance to keep going and keep going. And yeah, we've really got to try and be confident going into that match. I know I'm talking about confidence, and the next second I'm saying we're overachieving, but we've done really well to be where we are. We're still in all competitions. I know the FA Cup's not started yet, but we're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, which is tomorrow. We're through in the Europa League. We're second in the league. Keep it going. I'm not saying stop. I'm not saying we're going to completely drop, but we are above where we should be at this stage, which is encouraging to see for next season. But this season, I don't want to get too overexcited about the league to be disappointed at the end if it doesn't work. There's something not quite right, and that's just my personal opinion on it at the moment. So let me know what you guys think. If I'm being too negative, if I'm being a realist, just let me know in the comments below, and please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. We're over 100 now, but going further and further. And make sure you check out my interview with Dougie Critchley on the LFC transfer room. I'll put the link in the description. Really, really interesting video. We've got more great ones coming up on the. Please go and give them a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.